Welcome to House of Tay, and today we have a special guest, Alex Rendell. Hi, Alex.
Hi,
สวัสดีครับ
Thank you for having me.
Take me back to where you started.
I was born in Indonesia and I moved here to when I was 4. My dad worked in the hotel industry. He was an executive chef. My mom and dad worked in hospitality. And so we had like a Queen's Circuit wedding fair on behalf of the hotel that my dad was working at the time. I had a suit on and was in the booth, and then someone took a photo and invited me to do commercial auditions. And then I landed the job, and then I was doing commercials. Started acting when I was 7, doing soap operas, doing lakons in Thailand. I've never stopped acting until now. Actually, I haven't done it in like 3 years, but since 7 to 31, 32 has been my life on set, basically.
Because the past 3 years you got married.
I got married 6 months ago. 5 months, 6 months ago. Yeah.
Congratulations that you
Thank
married
you.
to my friend,
Thank
Jenny.
you. Yes.
Hi, Jenny.
Yes.
Okay.
And thank you for coming to my wedding, by the way.
Yeah.
I love what you were wearing that day.
Oh, you
by the
saw?
way. I think everyone saw
Oh my
that.
God. You need more empathy in this planet.
Yes, for sure.
And you have such empathy for the environment. How did that come about?
So empathy on its own, I feel that is something very, very important. Like now I have an environmental education center.
EEC.
Or EEC. So apart from the environment side, we also wanted to become a way for the youth to be able to develop life skills. And one of the main skills is empathy. There's so many problems in the world, but you have to solve it in an empathy mindset sometimes. Like if you use your anger, if you're too strong about it, all you're going to get is resistance. And the fact that I was able to grow up in a set, I was able to go into communities, local communities. I would see people wake up 6 in the morning, have a bottle of lao khao, like Thai vodka, I guess, in the middle of the morning. Like, do you say, wow, that's a bad person, why is he drinking? Or do you understand their way of life? And it's the same with conservation. You cannot say, hey, you stop polluting when all they're trying to do is make a living and their life is already difficult, so you have to be very, very careful and also approach things in a very empathy way. I feel super lucky and I feel super sorry for people, and I try to understand people's feelings. Now, in terms of the environment, I think that fundamentals or the principles of environmental conservation is being responsible. For me, yes, I would love to save the marine life, save the wildlife, educate people awareness, but it all comes back to being responsible. I know someone very close from the United Nations, and she said something to me that I always never forget. Like, the way you judge people if they're an environmentalist or not is when they get up from the table and do they put the chair back to where it was. That's just like basics to see if that person is responsible for themselves. Like, are they working? How can you save other people when you're not able to be responsible or have discipline for your own actions?
So what inspired you to open EEC?
So at the age of 10, I was already a child actor, and then I did a show on elephant conservation. And that was a key highlight for me. And at the time, I remember I went to PP Island on a family holiday. And that was something that really, really stuck with me. Even till today, I could still remember. Once I finished university at 22 years of age, I did communication media. My whole life, I was going to do media. I was going to be a director, writing scripts and all that kind of stuff. But then I felt like I wanted something new. I started to work with the less privileged kids, so blind children, wheelchair, all sorts of multi-disability kind of children, using nature therapy for them. And I thought, wow, this is really, really cool. No cameras, no one's clapping their hands. It's just people doing stuff from the heart. And I really, really liked that. And that was the beginning. And then I started to come back and do elephant conservation. And when I was around 25, I got together a group of partners and we're like, hey, let's get together and let's try to see if we can do a small trips for kids to learn about the environment and families to learn about the environment. And little did I know that it was going to skyrocket into my full-time job today. At the time, it was a hobby. I was a full-on actor. I never knew anything apart from that. I am the CEO now. I actually go into meetings every day. The office is right in front of my house. I'm on all of the camps. Every weekend, I'm there. I'm teaching myself. I'm also directing. I'm making deals. I'm presenting. I'm selling. I'm doing everything for EEC. That is my main job. I did not expect that at all. And I also did a degree on environmental education as well in order to increase my knowledge in what I was doing. So yeah, it's more like a butterfly effect. There's no real changing moment, but one thing led to another. And I think inspiration comes from education, even from myself. And that's also what my main mission is, to inspire people through education, basically.
To understand about nature.
Yeah, and I think it's super important.
Yeah, and to be more responsible.
More responsible, and how can you protect something if you don't love it? All I'm really much doing is to get people to love nature so they can protect it in their own way.
For me, I'm someone who not so close with nature because
Mhm.
when I was little, the people who look after me didn't let me play on the trees or get on the grounds,
Right.
or I was in like concrete jungles all my life.
Yeah.
So how can I start to connect with nature?
I think nature is a very small part. I think if we look at it on a bigger picture, we're talking about sustainability as a whole. And I think that there's so many different parts of sustainability. And I'm sure like yourself, like you do a lot of work in fashion, like you work at, even fashion is something that can really inspire the younger generation to get involved in. I'm sure that there are so many ways that you find passionate. And I'm not sure if you're aware about the 17 SDGs. Have you ever heard of the SDGs? So basically the United Nations have 17 goals that they want to reach that are sustainable development goals for the world
Oh,
to
yeah,
develop.
yeah. I heard about it.
Yeah, so you have stuff about poverty, you have
Yeah.
some about community, you have some about the climate, ocean, responsible consumption and production, for example. There's 17 of saving the wildlife, the marine life, or climate change. Now it's everything, right? And now it's like, I feel like it come to a point where if you don't be a part, later in life you will miss out. I feel like that. And I feel like if they don't act sustainably, they're going to find it very difficult to carry out their business operations in the future. I feel like on an individual level, if you don't be sustainable, you're going to be seen as selfish, as not sharing, as not caring. Not so much right now, but the younger generation that I teach, they're very, very serious because 10-year-olds nowadays, 12-year-olds nowadays, they're very, very, it's natural and it's instilled in them, I guess. Not like our generation. Our generation, it was more of like a choosing topic. Now it's like you have to think sustainable. So yeah, so taking part can only benefit you in the long run, I feel.
Is the situation with pollution getting worse in Thailand?
I think so. I think definitely, like, we have three big problems. We have climate change, we have pollution, and we have loss of biodiversity, which means loss of the healthiness of nature, basically. These three problems are getting worse and worse every single day. I think climate change, as we've seen, pollution, as we've seen, there's been natural disasters more than ever in the last 2 years. We had the earthquake killed 80 people. We've had coral bleaching down in Satun. We've had no water on PP Island to the point where they had to close the islands and not allow tourists to come. Farmers crying because they can't grow durian, for example. These three, pollution, one of them, is something super, super important for especially Thai people. And I honestly believe that Thai people have a good life because of the good nature that we have, and we are taking it for granted. If we look at it as a business, we're making so much revenue, but we're not investing to keep that revenue from coming from 20, 30, 100 years from now. And I think that is a big problem that needs to change very, very soon.
So how do you find passion about this environmental work?
Well, I think it's kind of like my baby. You know what I mean? Like, I started from it being a logo and I see it grow, grow, grow. Like, we've done 390 camps in the last 10 years.
Wow.
So we do a lot of executions. To me, it is my life now. Like, if you ask a footballer, do you love football? I think they'll be like, of course I love football, but it's my job. It's my job, my daily, like, I don't see it as super passionate, but I think it's just part of my life now. And yes, I do get burned out every now and again, but then I feel like when I learn something new, I feel passionate about that. I feel passionate about this. Last week, I was in the very northern part of Chiang Mai in Vieng Han region. and I see how the local people are trying to protect the forest for their livelihood, and things like that. It really inspires me, and I know that I'm going to bring people to come and learn about this, for them to go use this local wisdom and go make good of it. These are things that traveling really inspires me, really keeps me passionate. If I stay in Bangkok too long, I go nuts. I go crazy, really, yeah.
You cannot be here.
I cannot be here. Like, as soon as I'm doing like 4 or 5 days at the office, all I'm thinking about is, when is my next camp? When am I going to get the hell out of here? When am I going to... And then when I go, I do feel better. And then I come back, and that's like my loop. But also, you stay in nature also too long also makes you crazy too, you know? So it's important to balance the two.
You ever had the moments in your life where you try to make sense of what you're doing?
All the time. I think all the time. And I think, like, especially with EEC right now, I'm always fighting in my side. Like, I always saw EEC, although it's a business, it operates as a business. We want to make profits, but I always choose non-profit choices, which now it kind of harms the company in a way that we can't grow. So it's always like, what am I doing this for? Like, why am I all day looking at numbers? Like, I'm here I started this not because of this, but because you're the CEO, and because your company is big, you trust yourself more than anyone. There's certain things, certain areas that you have to do, which you didn't sign up for. So I'm always fighting with myself about this kind of stuff. Like, I want to be out there, I want to be doing stuff, but at the same time, I can't do stuff because money is a big factor. And that's the reality of it. You can't do much with no money, to be completely honest.
Exactly.
With you know, and
with my channel, I hope to get investor and be more invested in doing more work that people need, you know. But if I don't have any money, I cannot do this work.
Yeah.
And to help other people to go through their struggles, it's really difficult. It takes a lot of work and money.
You also don't want people to think that you're doing it for money.
Yeah.
You know, but you need funding.
Money to build
to build a platform to help people. That's something that I struggle with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you see yourself in the next 10 years?
I hope 10 years I'd be 45. You know what I really hope I am at 45?
What?
I hope I'm like Lenny Kravitz. Honestly.
Yeah.
I was looking at Lenny Kravitz, and I was seeing this guy, and I'm like, my God, this guy is 61 years of age. He's ripped.
Yeah.
He has a 6-pack. He has a ranch.
Yeah.
Have you seen his
I
ranch
saw.
on AD? Architect
Digest,
Digest. He has a ranch. He has a farm. He does nothing but work out, eat from his farm, eat fruits from his farm. He's super healthy. He's in super great shape at 61 years of age. And that is something that I've always wanted to be, but I can't because I don't have enough time to go to the gym. I cannot plan my meals because I'm in a situation, you got to eat what you have in front of you, you know, like in my mind, at high school, I was an athlete. I played sports. I was a good athlete. And in my mind, I think I'm like that physical kind of person, you know, like I have that athletic mindset. But in these last 10 years, it's been work. My health is not as good as I wish it should be. So I hope by 45, I will be one of those like elder people that people would really respect with ripped abs and inspire other people about health and less stress, be a good father, have a sustainable job, and have enough savings to not live life worrying too much about
stress-free life.
Yeah, stress-free, especially financially and mentally.
Thank you so much today, Alex. We see you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. If you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe Taylor Srirat channel นะครับ